What's up, Christine here. I'm going to do some pickled eggs today, and I've got probably a little over 100 eggs for my chickens, and they are just accumulating day by day, so I really need to preserve them before they start to go bad. So I'm going to try to use up about 70 of them, and it should give me enough to fill 7 1-quart jars. So I'm going to do a bread and butter pickled egg recipe because that's a favorite around here, and then also a dill and turmeric recipe. They are pretty popular here. But yeah, so the cool thing about making pickled eggs is it's pretty versatile. You can get really creative and just kind of throw things together. And so for the last 3 or 4 jars, I'm going to just kind of throw some things together. I might do like a green bell pepper and like an onion or something, and some pickling spice or whatever. I thought about doing beets, but I think I'll just save that for a different day. But anyways, they are going to be water bath cans, so they'll be shelf stable. And yeah, they'll be safe to eat. It is not approved, but I mean, I've been doing it this way for years. My family have been doing it this way for years. You know, they are Mennonite on one side and Albanian Macedonian on the other. So we all do it. Lots of people do it this way, and it's, even though it's not approved, you know, it's obviously fine to do if you do it right. Anyways, it's not a complicated matter. It's actually pretty damn easy. But yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do because I get a lot of eggs for my chickens, so I really like to preserve them. I actually still have some jars from April of last year that we're eating on, and they taste totally fine. I will say though, they're a little bit better when they're fresh. They just have better flavor, and I don't like them to be room temperature. It's pretty cold in my house, so they are pretty cold. So it's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sterilize the jars. I just throw them in my canner because they fit, and I'm able to cover them with water. They don't fit in my stock pot because it's just too narrow. So since I'm able to just use the canner for that, I just do it that way. It's a lot easier anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sterilize them and get everything ready. So first I'm going to sterilize the jars by leaving them in boiling water for about 10 minutes. Now I'm just going to bring the water to a boil, and I'm going to let the eggs simmer in it for about 15 minutes with the lid on. I'm going to let the eggs rest in some ice water before peeling, and then I'm going to make the brine for the first jar. And now I'm going to bring the brine to a boil and mix in the sugar. And next I'm going to pour the brine into the jar and leave about a 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch of headspace. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe down the tops of the jars with some vinegar. And put the lids and bands on the jars just fingertip tight. Now I'm going to put the jars in the canner, making sure that none of them are touching, and I'm going to bring the water to a boil for about 15 minutes with the lid on to trap the heat, and then I'm going to shut the heat off and leave them sit for about 10 minutes before taking them back out. Here is the final result. So this is a bread and butter pickled egg jar right here, and same thing with this one. This one back here is, kind of mix it up a little bit. This one back here is I think it's just dill. I'm gonna have to write some labels for them all, but this is just dill, And then we've got, so here's another bread and butter one. And then this one I threw in, what did I do? So I did some red pepper flakes, some green bell peppers, some onions. And then this is another dill and turmeric. That's what it is. So this one back here is just dill. This is dill and turmeric. Makes a huge difference when you add the turmeric. That's why I changed it up, because we like them both ways. And then this last jar, I'm just going to throw this one in the fridge because some of these eggs didn't peel perfectly well, and I ended up eating a few. So that's why it's not totally full. But this is, what did I do here? Oh, this is pickling spice. That's the pickling spice with some green peppers, some onions. And this is the pickling spice that I used. I think I just got it at Walmart. But it's got a little bit of everything in it. I really like it. I use it a lot. And I used about a teaspoon or so of these red pepper flakes in this jar here. And I did add about a teaspoon of ground black peppercorns to every jar and about a half a cup of sugar to all of them. So the brine is nearly the same. There's different ways you can do it. You can dilute the vinegar with water, or you can add more sugar. So it's been over 12 hours. Usually you want to let them rest for 12 to 24 hours before you try to remove the rings and do a finger test to see if they sealed. But it's been about 15 hours, I think. So I'm going to go ahead, remove the rings. I'm going to lift them up just slightly and see if they sealed. So this one's sealed. I'm going to check the rest of them now. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just wash all the jars, wash the outsides of them, because I like to make sure that everything is nice and clean before I put them in my pantry. So they all sealed. It's a little bit of work, but it's one of my favorite ways to preserve eggs since I do get a surplus of them. So there you have it, shelf-stable pickled eggs.